Hi guys, welcome back. I know it's been a little while since I've been on, but I wanted to make a video today with the Maverick. This is my Maverick 25 cal Fx Maverick Sniper Edition, and I did a modification. Now I've been thinking about it a little while that I wanted to make to the butt end, as you can kind of see there on there. I'll give you close-ups in just a moment. With the actual original butt plate that came with this rifle, I'd never really thought it was that comfortable, and also being a little bit too short. I know that this is a bullpup air rifle and everything, but sometimes in certain positions, like when you're lying down prone, sometimes when you're shouldering the rifle, shooting off the hood of your truck or something like that, sometimes you kind of want that flexibility of being able to have a bit more extension on that butt pad. Now I know that there's some butt plates that have been made by was it Sabre Tactical, PRS, and some of those are adjustable and everything, and yeah, they are quite costly. So I just wanted to make something a little bit outside the box, something I haven't really seen anywhere else, so I'm hoping that this is a first. With the back of the butt plate that came with the actual rifle, it's just like a hard moulded plastic, and it's kind of like shaped in like a C shape there to try and fit you. So in different positions, sometimes I find it that there's not quite enough butt plate there to give you a little bit more support, and a little bit too much, a little bit too short, so you can end up kind of moving your shoulder forward to meet the butt plate. Now for some people that, you know, especially if they've got quite short arms or something, it might be okay for them. I haven't got particularly long arms or anything, but I find that the butt plate that came with it was just a bit too short. Now I went to see a friend of mine, Callum, who's into 3D printing, and I wanted to ask him if it was possible to redesign this butt plate and make it to kind of how I saw in my mind what I wanted. So I went to him. He listened to what I had to say. I took some diagrams there to give him an idea of what I wanted, and so I had a rubber butt plate that I said I wanted to migrate this butt plate to the actual butt plate of the FX, and so we came out with a few different like variations. But what I wanted as well was to meet that butt plate, to make it kind of wider at the back but not lose anything here, to make sure that this kind of stayed in alignment, but would kind of flare out. I wanted to add obviously a rubber piece here, and then he came up with the idea that he said he could 3D print a cushioned butt pad up against it, and so I thought, God, you know, that'd be interesting to sort of see how that comes out. And so anyway, I'm going to take this butt plate off. Now camera's over there, so I'm hoping this is going to pick it up. So this is the actual butt plate itself, and it comes in two parts. There's screws here that you can take this off and screw this plate onto it. This is the original sort of like design, so he's followed that, and then also added this weave matrix here, this hollowed out section, but this butt plate has actually been mixed with carbon fibre, so very strong, lightweight. I'm hoping that that's picking that up okay. I will give you close-ups in just a second. So he's moulded in screw inserts, so again you can just unscrew these and then fasten it to the actual butt plate. Now the other good thing about this is we'll have a bit of up and down movement, so you can move the butt pad up and down. So hopefully you can sort of see that this flare that comes out in a kind of like a V sort of shape like this, and then to meet this butt pad. Now this is the ingenious part. He was able to 3D print this softer, like a plastic that is obviously done in such a way that there's actually give there, which I think that's brilliant. So he's able to match this shape perfectly, you know. So I'll put it onto the rifle. So you have got some movement up and down here within this sort of recess here, and then you can sort of like decide, you know, whereabouts you want it. Where are we? Okay, so you've got this kind of movement up and down, so that's about as much as you've got there. You could possibly turn it the other way around, I think. Put it upside down, and then that gives you an extension that should do up. Just find the hole. Yeah, so you've actually got an extension piece there, so you can shoot off of that, put it in your bag. I'll get a bag in a bit, and I'll also show you with it prone and me behind the rifle in a second too. So anyway, so you've got like that extension there, so now you can easily get behind that rifle like that. I'll just take this back. Now I've got to say he's done a fantastic job of designing this. I mean, it's nice that we could work together to sort of get the idea, and then he went away and did his magic, coming up with different sort of like scenarios and ideas, but this one is what we've kind of like decided with. Now in terms of length of pull, if you wanted a bit more, now I feel that this is should meet a lot of people's length, but if they did want to have a bit more length of pull, he can also print off plates, plastic plates that will slot in to this. So all you do is take these two screws out, slip in a plate. Say if you wanted 5mm plate, you know, in 5mm increments, maybe you want it in 6mm increments, so you could add a plate, and that's going to start extending it out if you need to, and then he would be able to print off these plates for how many you might need. Then depending on where you have your scope, I have my scope as far forward on this rail as possible, because this has a good long eye relief. There's about 4 inches of eye relief, so having the scope too far back, you're going to be sort of back here somewhere. So I've used literally the last slot on the pick rail. and also I've had my scope as far forward onto that, so it's just before the actual centre part of the tube of the turret. And so that sort of handles any sort of situation where you've got, like I said, you wanted a bit more length of pull. There's plates that you can just slot in, screw in. Obviously you would order with more extended screws to accommodate that, because these screws here, as you can sort of see there, you've got this space there, so it will accommodate longer screws as you sort of like would need. But I'm so happy with the way that this has come out. It is so much more comfortable now in my shoulder, and as we get into summer, which obviously does not feel like summer today, having this cushion there, with also, say, like if it's a warm day and you're only wearing a vest or a t-shirt, having a hard molded plastic almost like on your collarbone doesn't actually feel that nice, not to me anyway. It's not because I'm a wimp, but it just doesn't. It just does not feel that good. Now, most of us are used to, with rifles, proper rifles that have, wood stock or anything else, they normally tend to have a rubber pad on the end, and they all feel really comfortable. So I thought, well, why can't we do this with that? So he's done just an outstanding job of being able to create not only this part of the actual book plate and still make it look really nice, and also make it look like it was naturally born for this rifle, manufactured, I should say, really. That this is how it would normally come as standard, which I feel like is just a hell of a lot better. But now that I say you've got this addition now of this squidgy part of the plate here, so when you are putting it up into your pocket, it really does feel really, really good. And it's still got enough sort of firmness there, and sort of like that kind of softer feeling, towards your if you do sort of go just up to your sort of collarbone there, and like I say, you've got like that little bit of adjustment as well. You can turn it upside down if you want a little bit more, almost like a monopod at the back there, but I find that is sufficient to get into there, so you can put that on a bag. But it really is such a nice feel to the actual rifle, to the air rifle. I'm going to sort of set up on the floor as well, just to sort of show that in a prone position, which is probably where you would want that support to be, how that feels and looks on me. So I'm just going to give you some close-ups now, because like I say, with the camera being over there, I'm not 100% sure exactly how much is actually showing here, so hopefully you can see it and everything. I know it's not like a very sunny day today, so could be a little bit dark, so but just give me 1 second. So down here, prone position, so getting behind the rifle now with this book plate just gives me that kind of a little bit more extension and a better feeling into that shoulder pocket. Just take this bag away if you want. And it sits there quite nicely. I can just get behind the rifle. I'm at the right length of pull as well, which I don't feel like I've got to push my shoulder in like I did before with that shorter and sort of more narrower or restricted length of pull that we had on the original book plate. But I feel that is just so much more comfortable. you know, it kind of just fills in that length that you need, just to get that little bit more sort of square, just as you would a normal rifle, to be honest. I mean, and it feels just so good. Like I said, no problems getting a bag underneath there as well. You know, obviously some people have bag riders and what have you, and it suits some people with that. I find that I don't actually need a bag rider with this particular rifle, because sometimes, and a lot of the times, I'm actually shooting over the hood of the truck, and I'll sort of show you as well, kind of set up on that. But again, it just feels more natural, and more like a proper rifle would. You know, having that kind of like cushion behind there, that a little bit more width on that pad as well. Just perfect, you know. Like I said, you know, you can drop it. Over tightened it though. Yeah, so you've got like just a little bit more height there if you want to, like I said, or you can turn it over the other way around and have even more. Let me just show you that. So you could take it out, put it upside down, and you've got that extra extension there. So even if you don't want to have the a bag there, and you quickly just need to drop down into that prone position, you've got that kind of full extension there. And say you can just use your hand. You've got nice quite wide grip there to hold on to. Again, get down into your position, and away you go. So I think that kind of, you know, pretty versatile in how that would be effective. You see, and it's just works really well. I mean, I can't say, you know, I can't find anything bad about it. You know, the design's there, the strength, the rigidity is there. And I say with the carbon fibre, it's lightweight, it's strong. We haven't really kind of, well, Callum hasn't really kind of worked out a price yet, an official kind of price, but we were thinking possibly around maybe like that kind of £30-35, maybe even £40, as you sort of see it like this in this sort of configuration. And then if you wanted to buy, say, additional plates to put in between, in between the plate and the pad, to extend it out a little bit more. I mean, he could probably supply as many kind of plates as you would want, maybe like 2-3 plates or whatever, and then in whatever increments you wanted. Say you wanted 5mm, 6mm, even 10mm, but obviously, you know, a 10mm one, like, you might only need like one kind of big plate. So anyway, but you could knock those out maybe, I don't know, a couple of quid, 2-3 quid, maybe somewhere around there. So these are not terribly expensive, and I think for what you're getting, yes, all right, it's going to be plastic molded with carbon fibre, but I just feel that this is way better than the actual stock butt plate that comes with the Fx Maverick, and I think that's the same butt plate that you can use on the FX Impact, I think, as well. I might be wrong on that, but I think it is the same butt plate. Okay, so I decided to set up on the truck, and hopefully you can sort of get a better picture up here. So this would be a typical scenario where you kind of like, you know, shooting from your truck. Again, one of them positions where you probably want the rifle that little bit closer to you, so that's where kind of that butt pad, the original butt pad, might be of, you know, some use to have it kind of short. But what I found is that this pad at this particular depth or width or length or whatever you want to call it, from where it is, kind of suits just as well, because what we've done here as well, we've created a slight little bit more extension here, but instead of having that C shape where that kind of cuts into this way, so your shoulder goes even, the pocket goes even further in, is now we filled in that area. Instead of having a C shape, you've got this kind of more square, flatter shape up against your shoulder, which I think is far better. So again, that's still, I'm still be able to get into the rifle perfectly well. You know, again, if you wanted to extend the butt plate, turn it over, you want something more to hold here, you can do, but most of the time this supports itself pretty well up against your shoulder, and you can get on with your pest controlling. So a win-win. Anyway guys, that is all I have for you today. I just wanted to sort of show you an upgrade that I made to the Maverick. I'm super stoked about it. I'm really happy with it. It kind of meets everything I wanted in a butt pad, and it just makes using this rifle just a lot better for me. Hopefully it might be for some of you as well. So, but I shall put a link to Callum's website with his 3D printing business, and hopefully, you know, if you fancy something different, something that you think might be of benefit to you, hopefully it'll help you out. So catch you on the next one. Bye bye.